art studio. Today is day 2 of filming videos for you this week while I am in quarantine. My studio, me, very excited, having a little bit of cabin fever, but that's okay. This is why I'm doing all this. But today I am going to go through how I measure my resin. So past couple weeks I've been getting a lot of questions about why their resin isn't curing correctly. Now, different resins have different parts that you mix in, right? So there's certain resins that are 1 part to 1 part, part A to part B, 1-1. There's some that are 2-to-1, some that are 3-to-1, 5-to-1. Now, I love my Moss epoxy resin, and one of the best things I love about the company is that they have this incredible website. If you go to their website and under resources, you go to their calculator, you're gonna find amazing, amazing things. You can either calculate your resin by volume, which means 1 part to 1 part or 2 part to 2 part. So if it's like you do half a cup, part 1, if the other part is supposed to be 1-to-1, the other part will be half a cup as well. Or if you do 2-to-1 and you're doing half a cup, it'll be half a cup plus half a cup, so 1 cup to half a cup, right? That gets a little bit confusing for me. So I really like weighing my resin by weight or measuring by weight. And the thing that I love again about the website is that they have a certain area for their Art Pro, a part for their tabletop, a part for their LV, a part for their deep pour. So depending on what resin you're using, you can use that specific calculator. I used to measure my resin by cups. So I would have 1 plastic cup and I would fill half, I would get the other one and fill it till half and measure it and add a little until they were even, and then mix it and then worry that I didn't get it all from 1 cup to the other and that it's not gonna cure. We're not doing that no more. We're not doing it, no. So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna invest in a scale. So I have this amazing scale right over here. Whoa, Jesus. And you can see how dirty mine is because I use it a lot. So I have a scale in my essentials box, which is on my Etsy. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, which has all the essentials you need for when you work with resin. Okay guys, so let's do an example. We're gonna get a close-up video now, and we're gonna use our scale, and we're gonna use our silicone cup because we don't waste plastic cups while we do resin, guys. And if you missed the video I put up yesterday about cleaning your silicone cups, just go to my channel. Really fun video, 10 minutes, real quick, real short. And yeah, let's do this. So let's do a close-up. Okay, friends, so let us do an example. Now, here is my scale. I have it here on a piece of wood because sometimes, as you see here, I'm on, actually, I don't know if you can see, but I am on a silicone mat because I don't like working on paper or on a regular table. Obviously, the silicone mat, you can pick up and clean resin that cures on it very easily. So sometimes when the scale is on something that is a little bit softer, it doesn't cooperate when you press the buttons. It just doesn't want to calculate correctly. So it needs to be on a harder surface. So that's why I have it here on a piece of wood. Here is my cell phone, and I am on the Moss epoxy website. Okay, so I'm going to show you where to get the calculator from, and here I have my handy dandy silicone cup. All right, so first thing you want to do is turn your scale on. So depending on if you're going to measure in volume or if you're going to measure by weight, you're going to either use fluid ounces or grams. Now, if you're going to do by volume, I suggest using fluid ounces, but again, I'm going to show you guys how to do by weight, and we're going to use grams. So just make sure once you press this little unit button over here, you'll see that it changes all of the units that you can use, and I'm going to leave mine on gram. Now, when you take your silicone cup and you put it on your scale, you're going to see that it's going to add some weight. Now, we don't want the weight of the cup to be measured with our epoxy. So what you're going to do is you're going to zero it out. There we go. So now it is zeroed out, and I am on the Moss epoxy website. We're going to go here to their menu, and we're going to go to their resources. Under resources, you're going to find resin calculator. Let's get a close-up. Okay, so here you'll see that they have all different kind of information for you, and the first part of the website is where you can calculate your resin by volume, right? So here, so mixing ratio by volume. So if you want to do by volume, again, here you can see if you're mixing a 2-to-1 resin. If you put, see here, they already have a preset of 100, but let's say you want to put in 50. You'll see that for part B, it wants you to put the 25, right? Or, yeah, and the total volume is going to be 75. So 50 plus the 25, and that's that. So then same thing, they have a 5-to-1 calculator and so on. But again, I like mixing with weight, so we're going to do that. So here you'll see they have a deep pour calculator. They have the tabletop calculator. They have the Art Pro, but today we're going to use the tabletop right over here. Okay, so this is what I like to do. Keep this ready over here because I'm not exactly sure how much of part A we're going to use, because I kind of like to eyeball it first. Depending on what amount we get, I will calculate that amount and it'll tell me how much of part B. So make sure you're wearing gloves, guys. So I'm going to put my second glove on right now. You never want to handle any kind of epoxy without wearing your gloves. So let's do that really quick. Okay. So we're ready, and again, we're going to use our tabletop. So my scale turned off, so I'm going to turn it on. Usually if you turn it on with the cup on it, it'll keep it at 0. But again, if you turn it on and then put your cup on, make sure to 0 this out. I'm going to just move my phone so that I don't spill resin on it, but that calculator is there. And now let us use the epoxy. I'm using tabletop, and this is part A. So let us start. And you can see the grams going up. Let's do, no, you know, sometimes it's a little heavy and sometimes it gets a little bit more than you want to go. Okay, so we have 27 here, right? So we're going to go to our calculator. I'm going to take out that 100, whoops, and I am going to add 25. So for part A of 25 on tabletop, you need to add 20.75 of part B. Now calculating the 0.75 is a little difficult, so I go slowly, get it up to 20, and I don't want to pass 21. If you're off by a gram or two, you'll be okay. So again, so now let us do 20. Now what you can do is either you can add 21 to this 27, or you can clear this again and just add the 21. I like to clear it. I don't want to sit here and calculate things, so I'm going to add 21. So we're going to clear this. There we go. So now we're going to add right under 21 of part B. So now we're going to use part B of the tabletop. So you want to do this a little bit more slowly than you did the first one, because you don't want to add more, because then your part A is going to be off and it's just a little bit more difficult to calculate. Okay, see? So we just need a touch more. This is kind of hard to do from this angle for me, but come on. 21. Ah, perfect. Okay. Went a little bit more, but that's okay. As long as it's super close to it, you can be a little bit more exact. It's just a little bit harder for me to do this with my camera on top and my lighting, and I'm behind my tripod. So that is that. Now, guys, I'm going to change camera angles, and I'm going to show you how to mix this epoxy correctly in your cup. Okay, guys, so now let's mix our resin. Now, you need your stir stick and you need your silicone cup. Now, we are going to slowly mix. You don't want to overly mix because your resin can get really warm and do an exothermic reaction, I think it's called. I can never pronounce that word. So that just means it gets really hot. The chemicals mix way too fast and it's going to bubble, make smoke, and be stinking. You don't want to do that. You're also right now want to be wearing your respirator mask, guys. I'm just mixing a really small amount. I wear it 100% of the time. This is just for this tutorial. So what you want to do is while you're mixing, you want to scrape the sides of your cups the way I am. So just along the lines, along the edges, I'm gonna mix all that. Now, the reason why is part one of the epoxy is a lot thicker than the other, and it might just stick to the sides of the wall. Now, when you're mixing, also mix and rub the bottom of your cup. And the reason why your epoxy might not cure, apart from having not the right ratios of your resin, is that you don't mix the sides of the cup. So the resin that's sticking on the sides of the cups, it's not going to mix. So if you just do this and you mix the middle, all the resin on the walls of the cup isn't going to get mixed, and when you pour that out, it's not going to be mixed correctly, and again, going to stay sticky. It's going to ruin your piece. So go ahead and do that. Keep mixing, and you'll know when your resin is completely ready when you see that the milkiness goes away. It's a lot more see-through, and also you don't find kind of like these little hair lines. So it's not actual hairs or fibers, but it just looks like it. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this. And then one last little tip for you is when you're mixing your resin, scrape the sides of your cup. When you're pouring your resin out of the cup onto your piece or into your mold, you do not want to scrape the sides of your cup and get it all out. So just pour it, let it go as much as it goes, and then whatever's on the side, let it cure, and then just peel it out of your silicone cup. The reason being is if you missed a little spot that's stuck on the side of your cup, you don't want that on your piece or in your mold, because again, it won't cure correctly. So when you're mixing your cup, scrape the sides. When you're pouring out of your cup, don't scrape it all out onto your piece. Okay guys, so that is it. I taught you how to measure by weight off of the calculator off of the Moss Epoxy website. Also, if you want to buy epoxy and save some money, you can use my code AnniesArt and save 20% off of checkout, and you get free shipping, which is amazing. They have all sorts of resin, guys. If you have questions, just comment below and I will help you pick the correct resin that you need. Happy resining, happy arting. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up and share this video with your art friends, guys. So that's it. I love you all. Bye.